Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Romeo. What did we get into today, man? We talked a little bit about some of the celebrities. Who do you think's good and bad or not? They all portray sexuality. Let's talk about that. Kids, 18-year-old kid does not need a pickup truck. We're going to talk about that as well. And your vacation stories. Let's get going. The guy was asking me about this date he went on last weekend with this girl, and he couldn't even really tell me if it was a date or not. He said he didn't really define it as a date the way he texted it to me, but he just said they were out having a couple of drinks. Well, she had a few too many. She ended up throwing up in the parking lot. He's wondering, well, is that a sign? Is that a red flag? And no, it's not. I mean, if you can't even, when you text me to ask me about it, if you can't even define what the situation was, whether it was friends hanging out or whether it was a date, or there's obviously some confusion. So what do you expect from her? She doesn't know what's going on either. I mean, I think she'd like to know. It sounds to me like she would like to know what that was classified of, to know what kind of situation she is in. So she just got nervous. I think a lot of people get nervous. I'll call it a first date, okay? But he didn't. So she got nervous. I mean, people get nervous on first dates. People get nervous, and sometimes they drink too much. It happens more often than you think. Hey, Romeo, she wanted the guy to look hotter, so she got wasted. There you go. Hey, Rome, I think she was nervous because if she was an alcoholic, she would know how to handle her alcohol better. Oh, she wouldn't have thrown up. Well, I maybe thought she was an alcoholic. Or 842-547-7. I think she was just nervous. She didn't know, she didn't know if she was on a date or not. I mean, did the date go well? A lot of people get nervous on first dates. And when you get in a situation where you're having drinks, sometimes you drink a little too much to calm your nerves. And I would think she's not an alcoholic because she couldn't handle her alcohol. And that would make more sense. She threw up because she can't handle her liquor. She drank more because she was nervous. So that goes to show she doesn't drink much all the time. So yeah, there you go. She was just nervous. A guy texted me about last weekend. He said he went out with this girl, and he wanted to know if it was a red flag that she drank so much that she actually threw up in the parking lot. And I don't think it was. I think that it was because the way he made it sound like they didn't define whether it was a date or just friends hanging out. So I think she was just nervous, and she drank to try to calm her nerves, and she ended up drinking too much. 842-547-7, but I wouldn't call it a red flag.
Man, I don't think I ever heard a dude complain about a girl drinking before.
Well, I think he thought it might have been a red flag because she was drinking too much to the point that she threw up.
He needs to step his game up.
What's that? Step his game up? All right, man. Thanks for calling. Well, I mean, red flags happen, right? Especially on a first date, but I wouldn't consider that a red flag. I just think she was nervous. I mean, she didn't know. Obviously, they didn't define what they were doing, so how was she to know? Hey, Ro, maybe the date was bad. She had to drink just to get through it. Well, maybe you're right. That's why I didn't get much information. He only sent me his side of the date, that they went out as friends or a date. He didn't really define what it was, and she ended up throwing up in the parking lot, which to me, it just seems like she was nervous. But you can go that way. Hey, maybe the date was that bad. She had to drink her way through it. 842-547-7. But the throwing up part just makes me think that she's not very much of a drinker. She doesn't drink much, So it was either nerves or bad date. I'll give you that. But there are red flags when it comes to dating, right? 842-547-7. I just saw a story about the Love After Lockup. Have you guys seen this show on WeTV? Apparently, this woman was dating a guy, and a couple of weeks into their dating, he got locked up for 5 years, and I guess he's finally getting out today. So she gets to see him. So I don't know. Would you stay with a guy? That might be a red flag, right? A guy getting locked up a couple of weeks into your dating history, or into you dating him? I don't know. There's a lot of red flags on a first date, but throwing up in a parking lot because you're nervous or because it's a bad date is not one of them. Hey, Rome, in the world of dating, what are the biggest red flags? I picked this girl up once for a first date, and we were on the way to get some grub. I'm not kidding. She pulls out a weed vape pen and starts smoking in my car without asking. It took me forever to get that smell out. Well, I mean, if you're not a pot smoker, I guess, yeah, that would be a huge red flag. Drugs would be a huge red flag. I don't think that you could deny that. I mean, everybody has their different idea of what a red flag is in dating, right? I mean, what would be your red flags? Everybody will accept, everybody has their own limits. So you can't say that there's the one set standard of red flags. This is the biggest. I mean, I guess if you walk in the house and she's standing there or he's standing there with a gun and a pile of Scarface cocaine, that might be a red flag unless you're into that. So every red flag would be different based on the individual. All right, 842-547-7. I mean, we can ask people, what's your red flags for dating? What's your red flags for dating? Guy was asking me about red flags when it comes to dating. What's the biggest red flags? I can't put together that list because every single man and woman has a different number one. You know, everyone has a different list of things that they don't agree with. He said that he was picked up some girl to go get something to eat, and she pulls out a weed vape and starts smoking in his car without asking. And then he texted me back. He said, it didn't bother me that she smoked pot. What did bother me was she started smoking in my car without asking. She got too comfortable on the first date. Well, I can see that. I mean, but wouldn't you want somebody to be comfortable on the first date? 842-547-7. Hey, Rowan, the biggest red flag for me, when men don't like to work, so mommy and daddy give him money. Yeah? See, there you go. I mean, that's a good one. Good morning, Rome. Red flag is when the girl is on her phone on the first date. I hate that. Not spending enough time with you, more time on the phone. I see. And some guys wouldn't mind that because they're on their phones as well. So just depends on who you are. What's the biggest red flag for you? Now, obviously, you didn't like her getting that comfortable in your car that soon. So yeah, I would say it's a red flag. But I can't give you just the top 5 red flags. I can't do that because everybody's would be different. Earlier this morning, a guy was texting me and he talked about it. He went out on a date with a girl last Saturday and she threw up in the parking lot. And he wanted to know if that was a red flag. And I didn't think it was. I thought maybe she just got nervous. It was either a bad date. Somebody said it might have been a bad date. Or maybe she was just nervous. And, she drank too much to calm her nerves. Then I read this story of a woman who was dating a guy for a couple of weeks and he gets arrested. Well, and now he's doing 5 years and she stayed with him. Is that a red flag? A guy going to jail? Obviously not for her because she's waiting. So what is a red flag? A guy asked me, hey, Rome, can you give me a list of red flags, the most important ones? And I don't know that there is a most important one. It's all based on the individual. Hey, Rome, a red flag for me was when she wasn't letting me, oh God. You thought she might want to get pregnant, huh? Okay. She wasn't letting him doing that method, that most guys use to not get pregnant. Alright, 842-547-7. But like I said, red flags, everybody has their own. Every single person has their own number one red flag on a first date or on a date or when they see, hey, maybe you aren't out right for me. Good morning, Noah. What's going on?
Hello, Ruby. It's me, Beto.
Hey, Beto. What's going on?
Well, I know the red flag when I went out with this one girl that brought her Jordan's luggage with her. So I said, wait a minute. We were supposed to go out for just dinner and a movie? Oh, my God. You want to move in? No. No, I know it's a red flag. So I dropped her off. I said, hey, because give me 20 on pump 2. And when she went in the fast food, I took off.
Oh, all right.
And I sold her luggage and offered her up.
Oh, God. Yeah, we were having this conversation one of these drunken nights talking about celebrities, right? Male or female, actors, comedians, musicians. Who do you think really puts it down in the bedroom? Who do you think has the best sex? I mean, they're all good-looking people. They can't all be good in bed, though, right? I mean, really, they can't all be. RD42-547-7. Yo, Rome. Nah, the real freaks are the calm, quiet, the nerdy type. All this wanna BS just lay in their backs. So what are you saying? Like Jennifer Gardner? She would be the most. When you say celebrity, the calm, quiet girl, I think, or nerdy girl, I would think, or nerdy type, I would think Jennifer Gardner, right? You're saying she might put it down then? Yo, Rome, Rihanna has to be the freakiest bed. She made that song S&M. She's a freak, Rome. See, that's what I'm saying. And part of this came because somebody asked me also about Cardi B. Somebody asked me, Rome, do you think Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion are as freaky in bed as they are in their videos? And I don't know. You'd hope so, right? But We don't know these people. We've never had sex with celebrities, so how do we know if they're good in bed or not? Already 42547-7. What celebrity do you think is the best in bed? So we were talking about this. Somebody asked me a while back, this was a month or so ago, about Cardi B. Back when that WAP came out, right? Somebody was asking me if I thought Cardi B, and I didn't think anything of it at the time when they asked me, but they asked me if I thought Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion were as good in bed as their videos are. And I've been thinking about it for a while, about celebrities that portray this real sex symbol image and how well they really throw it down in the bedroom, right? I think we all know Prince. I think there's been multiple stories about Prince. I think we're all pretty confident that Prince is throwing it down. Well, when he was alive, Prince was putting it down in the bedroom, right? Kind of freaky style. But you look at some of these other celebrities, like who? Like, who do you think's getting down in the bedroom? RD42547-7. Yo, Rome, I think Billy Bob Thornton puts it down. He beat it up on Halle Berry in that monster ball. Didn't Angelina Jolie and Halle Berry, or Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton, weren't they married at one point, or didn't they have some sort of wild sexual relationship that was reported in the media? So maybe you're right. I bet Angelina Jolie will do some things that, you never heard of. Well, maybe not now, because, I don't know. That's a good question. Yo, Romeo, them celebrities have so much money they can afford to make themselves super studs in the bed. Money, but that was my point. That's my point about this conversation. You could have all this money. You can look, have a six-pack and be in movies or on stage. Doesn't mean you're great in bed, right? Not all of them can be great in bed, no matter how much money you had. Already 42547. And how do you make yourself? That's what I'd like to know. How do you make yourself? Yo, Romeo, I know it sounds weird, but I heard Gwyneth Paltrow is a freak. Look it up. I think she invented a candle that's vagina scented. Yeah, she's got that goop. Is it that goop, that company Goop, that does all kinds of weird sexual things? So maybe you might be right about that. You might be right. Already 42547-7. Look, I don't know if you guys have had sex with celebrities or not. I never have. But which celebrity do you think's getting the freakiest in the bedroom? Someone was asking me a while back if I thought Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion were as freaky in bed as they portray in their movie or their videos. And I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you got to remember, music, some of it's an act as well. And they're playing a character to get you to buy albums. So, yeah, I mean, it's a performance. It's a show. So maybe not. I don't know. Already 42547-7. Hey, Rome, by the theory that the quiet goody-goody girl is the best in bed, I'm going with Jessica Alba. Is Jessica Alba the one married to Justin Timberlake? Nah. That's got it between Justin Timberlake's got to suck in bed. There's no way he's putting it down, right? No way. And she married him, right? Is that, if I'm talking about the right, Justin Alba is married to Justin Timberlake. I bet their sex life sucks. I bet they have no fun whatsoever. Yo, Rome, what about that perv James Franco? James Franco, you might be right. Yo, Rome, with money, you buy that very special pill. A pill does not make you better in bed. Okay? That's all I'm saying. RD42547-7. Yeah, like you talk about money, right? Money makes you better in bed. I mean, is that what you're saying? Does that mean you think Bill Gates is knocking it out? He's not knocking it out of the park. That clown, who knows? He's over here, sexually harassing people. RD42547-7. Hey, Rome, what about Nicki Minaj? You think she gets down like she talks about in her music? See, that's the question. That's how the question arises to begin with. Some of these celebrities do some things that are very sexual, and you think, man, she must get busy in the bedroom, or he must get loose in the bedroom, and I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't care how much money these people have, these celebrities have. I guarantee you, do you think Jeff Bezos is knocking it out in the bedroom? I mean, how many of you really believe that? All right, 842-547-7. That's why I say, When you look at these celebrities, who do you think's really doing it right? All right, first of all, we're talking about these celebrities. What celebrities do you think really do it good in the bedroom? All right, 842-547-7. Yo, Rome. Honestly, I think Martha Stewart's a freak. And if she takes off those baggy clothes, all right. No, Rome, that's Jessica Biel that's married to Justin. Okay, yeah, Jessica Alba. Somebody said they thought Jessica Alba was good in the bedroom. But I thought that she was married to Justin Timberlake. No, it's Jessica Biel that's married. Yeah, they're lovely. I bet their sex life is boring. Hey, Romeo, name celebrities have so much money they can afford buckets of Viagra to make themselves look good. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think Viagra is going to make you better in bed. All it's going to do is make your bad sexual experience last longer, right? I mean, you ladies, can you agree with me on that? Or am I wrong? Just because he can last longer doesn't mean he's great in bed? All right, 842-547-7. Yo, Justin Timberlake is married to Jessica Biel. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for straightening me out on that. Yo, Rome, what do you think? Halle Berry, Taraji P, or 50 Cent? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. That's why I say, what do you think? Romeo, what about J-Lo? She seems pretty sex strong woman. She can't be without a man for too long. Yeah, but I don't think that's a sex thing. I mean, I don't know. That is a very good question. All righty, 842-547-7. What celebrity you think puts it down in the bedroom the best? You had to guess. You look at all these celebrities. Who do you think's the best in bed? All right, 842-547-7. I mean, some of them come off like, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. Some of these guys and girls come across real sexual prints, obviously. And who do you think really is doing it well in the bedroom? All right, 842-547-7. Let's see here. Hey, Rome. Jessica Biel's Justin Timberlake is married to Timberlake. Alba is okay. Yeah, Alba's. Thanks for correcting me. Where we at here? Hey, Rome. I know for a fact Sarah J's putting it down all week. Oh God. Well, Sarah J's a porn star. Yo, Rome. What do you think about Ariana Grande? She sings about being a freak, but I don't know, man. She's so tiny, I just can't see it. Yeah, I don't think Ariana Grande's doing nothing in bed. I don't think she's getting down like that. Jeff Bezos doesn't need to perform. Those rich fools are all into some weird underground fetish sex ring stuff. Okay. Maybe that's what, yeah, okay. All right. Rome, not J-Lo. She can't keep anyone. You think the reason J-Lo can't keep a man is because of sex? You think that's what, she's not good in bed? Yo, Rome, Rihanna looks like she can put it down. Okay. Hey, Romeo, that's true. He could be poking around for hours and not get her anywhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of you guys want to say, hey, it's about this, they just go buy a blue pill and throw it down in the bedroom. Nah, just because you can last longer doesn't mean you're great in bed. Just means, the bad experience is going to take a while. Hey, Rome, what about Black China? I think she puts it down real nasty. Maybe that might be Black China. Maybe. Yo, Rome, athletes get down in the bedroom. I watched an interview with Ronda Rousey who was talking about her sex life, and you can tell she's a freak. See, that's the other thing, though. I mean, a lot of people, they want to portray this image that they're great in bed because of their celebrity status and or how much money they have. They want to be perceived as something far better than they really are. I don't know. With Cardi B, she might be just put on a show. She might not be that sexual. She just, sex sells. So for Ronda Rousey to talk about how freak nasty that she might get in bed, I mean, do you believe it? We watch these celebrities, right? The music videos, the rappers, the movies, the sex scenes, the thing. What celebrities do you think are really getting down in the bedroom? They all can't be good. Just because they have money doesn't make them good in bed. They all can't be putting it down, right? Already 42547-7. Good morning, Howard. What's going on?
Rome, how we doing, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Are we going to talk about celebrities who we think are putting it down or not?
Yeah.
All right, man. So all you got to say is, like you said, the Kardashians, Cardi B, like they got all the money in the world to make sure that their body looks top notch. Like they just pay for it, right?
Sure.
And they're still getting cheated on. Like Kim Kardashian, Khloe, Kourtney, Kylie, all of them been cheated on. All of them can't keep a man.
Okay.
So I think like money, can't buy you this type of stuff, right? But what I will say is my boy Elon Musk, I think he puts it down. You cannot be dating some chick named Grind and then bro, hold on. And then he went and popped out some kid and named it like A3 Zelda, whatever. Like simple, bro. Some people might have like a sex room in their house. I'll bet this dude's got like a sex guest house, a sex penthouse somewhere. Because you cannot. No. He got a couple screw loose.
All right, man. I might not disagree with you. All right, brother. Thanks for calling.
All right. Have a good day, Ron.
Yeah. What celebrities do you think really get down in bed? I mean, we watch their videos. We see their lifestyles. They appear to be just having a great time. But do you really think they're doing something? Yo, Rome, Raider John here. What about Lizzo? She's got to be a freak. Yeah, I would go with that. Lizzo probably puts it down. She probably does. She probably goes the extra mile. She tries harder. Celebrities, right? They got the sex appeal. They got all the money. They do videos, movies. Which one do you think in real life are really good in bed, as opposed to just this persona they put out there on social media? Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, Romeo, what do you think about Becky G? You think she good?
About who?
Becky G.
Becky G.
Yeah, sure. You see the top stuff,
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe.
You can toss that around, man.
All right, man. Get out of here.
Hey.
Now these guys are just... I'm not talking about living vicariously through my show, through your fantasy celebrity sex you want. All I'm saying is, which ones do you think, if you had to guess, were really getting down? Because they can't all be good. I'm sorry. They can't. Just that's the nature of the beast. That's the world we live in. Not every man is great in bed, whether you're rich or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change things, the money. But the money changes things for us regular people. Or when we see Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and we see them just throw down in these videos and you're just like, my God, do you think they do that in the bedroom? Well, that's what they're selling. They're selling you the idea, right? But can they really come through? I don't know. RD42547-7. Hey, you effing Chiefs fan, my celebrity hoe will be Amber Heard because I like to... Amber Heard might do something in bed. She really might. She looks like she might really... Like, after seeing that whole trial thing that her and Johnny Depp went through, she might be so crazy that she's just going to give you the best sex of your life. RD42547-7. Kourtney Kardashian, Rome, not even close. I think all those Kardashians are the same. I think they all do whatever they have to look good, but ain't doing nothing in the bedroom. But I think they will do anything. I think the way the Kardashians compensate for being bad in bed is they'll let you do anything to them in bed. And that makes you think they're good in bed. RD42547-7. Rome, what about Doja Cat? You know what? I haven't even seen a Doja Cat video. I couldn't even tell you who she is, to be honest with you. Let's talk about these celebrities and the image they portray, now on social media, publicly, their music videos, their Snapchats, their movies. Like, who do you think really puts it down in the bed? If you had to ask, what celebrity do you really think puts it down? Hey, Rome, what's your actual definition of putting it down in bed compared to someone average in bed like the Kardashians? I think the Kardashians will just do anything in bed for you. That's what I think. I don't think they're good at it. But I guess my idea would be what you see in videos, how they're getting wild in videos. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Not so much. The one who I think is a freak in the bed back in her day was Betty White.
You might be right about that because there's a lot of, if you go back to old Hollywood, the 70s and the 80s, well, the 80s, a lot of cocaine and partying going on, but even the 70s, a lot of those women were really, really sexy and they had their own kind of freedom and authority to get away with stuff. You might be right about that.
And who knows what went on in those Hollywood parties back in the day?
Yeah, it was just a different time. You might be right about that. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for calling.
I nominate her the queen.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but okay. Like, he's kind of right. If you've ever watched any, like documentaries or watched any, documentaries about some of these actresses from the 70s, maybe even the 60s. They were very, very attractive, and they were living life a lot differently than, the 60s housewife or the 70s housewife. All right, 842-547-7. So like I said, Betty White, she might have done something. Selena Gomez, I got to tell you, I'm not even going to, I hope not. I've been watching that new show with Martin Short and what's the tall silver-haired guy? I can't think of his name right now. He played the jerk. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez got a great show. It's on the second season. And yeah, I don't want to see her that way. So no, I'm going to go no. No, I don't want to see Selena Gomez that way. Hey, Rome. Okay, Rome, what about Cake Boy? Yeah, I don't know if Cake Boy's good in bed or not. You'll have to ask him. Hey, Rome, they say short men are more aggressive because of little man syndrome. They got to try and measure up somehow. That's why the little chihuahua is so angry. Nice. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
I was just wanting to jump in on that topic of freaks in bed and whatnot.
What's up, man?
Hey, so you mentioned earlier, and it leads to another point. You mentioned Miley Cyrus, freak in bed, but kind of dirty. Another way to throw into there for the next topic would be Disney stars. She was one of them. You got Bella Thorne, all certified freaks, but what's different from them is you also got Vanessa Hudgens, definitely certified.
Britney Spears. Don't forget Britney Spears.
That's what I'm saying. You got some Disney stars.
But I don't see.
Hot, men, women, all of them. All come out freaks. Hell, but Vanessa Hudgens posted on her story one time, and she had like a whole strap-up system in the back. Right?
But this is what I'm saying. Though. This is my point. Are they doing it for show, or are they really a freak? So I think Britney Spears is dirty. But all the girls that you named from Disney Channel, they're kind of dirty. I don't know that Vanessa Hudgens is dirty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Vanessa Hudgens is kind of her own. I mean, she was that story before. She's dating that baseball player from the Pirates now, but
she just doesn't come across to me as a dirty girl like those other ones you've named. So
but like I said, I saw that story and she had a whole
But once again,
for her bed, and I was like, and then she quickly removed that story.
All right, all right, man.
All right, but yeah, Disney.
All right, 842-547-7. But that's how the conversation began. Are these celebrities, male or female, are they doing it for show, or are they really freaky deaky? I mean, that's my point. That's what I don't know. So we're just guessing here.
Lizzo, bro. She's a big girl, man. And you know what? The good thing about it is right after, you're just going to hit a cool eating spot. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. All right. Get out of here. You're so dumb. Good morning, Al. What's going on?
Romeo.
Yeah.
I hear you guys mentioning all these women, but you guys are missing the good ones.
Okay.
How about Adele, Kelly Clarkson, and Lizzo?
Somebody did say Lizzo already, but you don't know. How do you know? They don't act like freaks in their image or their videos or anything like that.
Take it from Raider Days. The big girls are the freakiest girls.
Okay.
So she weighs over 270. She's a freak.
All right.
Guaranteed.
All right. Get out of here. RD42547-7. Yo, Rome, you were talking about these celebrities that you think are good in bed or not. What about these Instagram influencers or these content creators that you see online? You see these older women doing these videos where they're talking about how they do all this stuff, or you see these younger girls acting like hoes. Do you think they really are like that? I don't know. They say there's nothing better than a 40-year-old divorced woman. I mean, I don't know. That's a pretty good question, though. I mean, you do see these videos. If you go on Reels or TikToks, you do see a lot of women just portraying themselves as, as easy and will do anything for a man. So I'm going to say no. They probably aren't like that. It's just an act to get you to follow them. But I don't know.
Oh, Romeo, I saw something. It really grossed me out.
What's that?
So that guy Benny Blanco, that he's kind of fuzzy, right? Well, his girl is pretty. Selena Gomez is pretty. Well, I saw a video of her. He was sitting there barefoot with his feet up. And out of nowhere, in front of multiple people on camera, he went down on his toes.
Oh, God. Oh.
I'm shocked, and I can't even function. Because I mean, out of anything, it's not like he came out of the shower. I don't even know. But all I'm saying is that guy was barefoot, and she put her whole mouth on his toes.
You know what the worst part about that story is? Is before you said Selena Gomez, I was thinking of Benny Blanco from the Bronx. You probably don't even know who that is, huh?
Oh, I do. I'm that old. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. What are people doing? Stop naming your kid Benny. Otherwise, things are going to happen.
Oh, nice. Hey, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I do remember that. I do remember that story where Selena Gomez's boyfriend has some dirty ass feet, but she said Benny Blanco, and all I thought was Benny Blanco from the Bronx. So the funniest conversation I saw yesterday. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So yesterday, a friend of mine, his kid's going to school, right? His kid's going to college in, I think it's Irvine. UC Irvine, I think, is where he's going to school. So I go by there. Me and him had to talk about some stuff. And then, so the kid comes in, right? And they're talking about getting him a car. He goes, Dad, I need a car. What are we going to do? Mom's over here going, well, he's going to live in the dorms. Does he need a car? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, conversation about how getting this kid a car for before he leaves for college. I think he leaves next week or September. I don't know when it is. And I mean, cars are expensive. Let's be honest. Okay. When it comes to buying a car for your kid today, they're expensive. They're not cheap. Not everybody is rich like you and can just afford to go buy a brand new car. My first car was $500. That's what, when my mom bought me my first car, is $500, and she bought it from my aunt. And, so they're not cheap, okay? But the kid goes, I want a truck, Dad. I think I want a truck. We live in Bakersfield. He wants a truck. And I said, wait a sec. You're going to Irvine. You're not in Bakersfield. You're going to live in Irvine for 4 years and go to college. So, no, you don't want a truck. What the hell are you going to do with a truck? And then my boy jumps up and is like, kind of clicked in his head. You're right. What do you need a truck for? First of all, you're 18 years old. What do you need a truck for? Okay? I mean, in Bakersfield, we're men. We need trucks. We haul stuff. We got to do things that a truck bed is needed for. You're an 18-year-old college kid. You do not need a truck. Well, yeah, I want a truck. No, you don't. So, why? The kid would not get it. He just did not understand that, I mean, you can get one later in life, but you don't need one today. What you need is a medium-sized car to drive around the city, take some friends with you, maybe fool around in the back seat if, your roommate in the dorm is there, but you do not need a truck. And let's be very fair about it. Trucks are expensive. They're way expensive. And so I thought that was pretty funny. I just thought, so the poor kid, he's not getting a truck now. My boy's getting him like I don't know what he's going to get him, something kind of smaller, but there's a budget. Everybody's got a budget for a car, so it's going to be a little bit different. But trucks are expensive, man. You try to go buy a truck, it's going to cost you $20,000 easy for a used one that's reliable. So, what is wrong with you kids, man? The kids are so stupid. They don't understand what they need at certain points in your life. You're an 18-year-old kid. You don't need a truck. Even if you're an 18-year-old kid in Bakersfield, if you unless you're working, you do not need a truck. A truck is a man's car that's needed for doing work. Hauling stuff. My buddy's kid, 18-year-old kid's going to college. I think they're moving next week or the week, or I don't know, whenever he's moving down there. But he's going to Irvine, which is not necessarily Bakersfield. But the kid wants a truck, so he needs a car. Dad tells his dad he wants a truck. I was over there telling the kid, you don't need a truck. You're going to be down in the city. You don't need, and you're 18. You don't need a truck for anything. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ron? Seahawk Lou.
What up, Lou?
Hey, so that poor kid ain't getting that truck then after all?
No, he's going to get a car or a little SUV or something smaller.
I think that's the right move, man, because, I hate it when I see, someone get, this dually diesel truck, and they don't have nothing to pull or nothing. They don't carry nothing or nothing. They're just driving it around town, and they start complaining about diesel prices and the death. I'm like, should have just got a little Honda like me, you know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
Reliable, up and down, no car payments. All they need is oil and gas, and let's go.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, Lou. All right.
All right, Ron.
But kids are just stupid. Kids are just stupid. Don't get me wrong, okay? There are kids in Bakersfield, 18-year-old kids that are getting hand-me-down trucks from their dads, okay? That's the hand-me-down. That's the car you get. I get it. But if you're going away to school somewhere, you don't need a truck. I was trying to explain this to him. I'm going, you don't need a truck. You're wasting half a car, And let's be honest. You really don't need a truck in your life until you get married and she wants you to haul a bunch of stuff everywhere, okay? So you really don't need a truck until you have a wife. Outside of those guys who work, who work and, who use a truck for work. But I'm saying, college kids don't need no truck. So it's kind of funny. My buddy's kid is 18. He's going down to college. UC Irvine. I think he's going to Irvine or somewhere down there. I believe it's Irvine, though. And he wants a pickup. He's got a car. He needs to get a car. Got to have a car. Wants a pickup. And I was telling him no because I was over there for the conversation the other day. And I was telling him, what do you need a car for? You don't haul nothing. You don't got a job where you need a pickup truck. What do you need a truck for? To look cool in the city? No. So now I convinced his dad to get him a car, or a little SUV, something that's useful, not a pickup. At 18 years old in college, what do you need a truck for? Good morning, Rome. The reason he wants a truck is because that's what's trending for kids right now. Low and cammed truck, a.k.a. Mama Lona's. That's what they call them. Oh, okay. Well, I could see that, but you don't need one. No. This is so stupid. Poor kid. messed up his, and plus they're so expensive. Oh my gosh, they just cost too much. Hey, Rome, I used to live in Orange County. Truthfully, no needs a truck in the OC because there's traffic like crazy. Gas prices are ridiculous. A hybrid would be the way to go because the kid is probably going to want to be up and down the coast and traveling back to Bakersfield on random occasions. Everyone in the OC is driving Teslas anyway, or an electric scooter. Well, nah. You might be right about that, but you don't need to buy, come on, man. 18 years old going to college. You do not need a truck. Unless you go into college in Colorado, you might need a pickup, but come on now. These kids are so stupid. you have plenty of time to get a truck when you graduate, and yeah, you'll be fine. But maybe they're trending. Is that what you're saying? So these trucks are trending now? They're like, I guess. I don't know, man. I live in Bakersfield. My trucks are just for work, and I've owned them all. My trucks are for work. Hey, he gonna appreciate not getting a truck after he after the yeah, well, I mean, for those of you that just tuned in, we're talking about my buddy's kid, 18-year-old kid going to college, about to go live in the dorms down at some UC down south, and he wanted a truck, pickup truck. I'm like, why do you need that? I was there for the conversation, and I said, what? You don't need one of those. One, they cost too much right now. Even to get a nice used one costs you too much. Second of all, what do you need a truck for? That you only have half. If you have a pickup truck down in, where's he going? OC, you're Irvine. You only got half a car. You don't haul nothing. What are you gonna do with it? I mean, come on now. So these kids today are so dumb. I mean, I know your dad got one, but your dad work out in the fields. Your dad got a job where he needs a truck, So come on, these kids. Yo, Rome, he gonna appreciate not getting a truck after gas prices. Not only that, a little car you can wiggle through everywhere and be discreet. You're gonna get caught up in a truck. Too much attention. I don't know. Okay. I know. He's a good kid. I don't think he's going to be doing too much. I don't know what he's going to be doing. I don't know what you mean by too much attention, but okay. But yeah, if you're going to live in the city, you got to have a city ride. I mean, if you're going to live in Bakersfield, if he was going to stay in Bakersfield, I could understand him having a pickup. But not if you're going to live in the city, man. Get your little city ride. Once you graduate school, you can move back and get you a truck, whatever you want. Get you a truck and a trailer and be cool. All right? But right now, you don't need one. A buddy of mine's kid is heading off to college down south, right? And he wants a pickup truck. You don't need. I was telling him the other day, you don't need no pickup truck, man. You're just wasting half a car if you get a pickup truck. I understand if you need it for work or something, but you don't need no truck, man. Wait till you either come back to Bakersfield or wait till you get a wife and you got to haul all her stuff around, or wait till you get a job where you actually need one, right? Yo, Rome, let's see here, 842-547-7. Hey, Rome, what'd you say? Kids, they are stupid, and they want it all, and they don't know how to earn and be humble what's given to them. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, these kids today are they want everything. They want all the comforts of their parents' lifestyle without actually working for it. But he's a good kid. I mean, he deserves it. He just doesn't need it. That's the problem. You don't need it. Let's see, 842-547-7. Yo, Rome, you're exactly right. These kids today are so entitled. They want everything given to them. Well, that's not necessarily my point when I had said that. My point is that, not everybody can afford to give their kid everything that they have, But also, I'll also say this. If you have good kids, then there should be nothing wrong with giving them, if you can afford something or a brand new car for your kid, or you can afford for them to, whatever it is that you can afford, and they're good kids, then who cares? If they're entitled little jackasses, then you're just raising little, entitled you-know-whats, then that's different. But I'm just saying, if you got good kids, there's nothing wrong with giving them everything. I don't disagree with that. It's just there's a lot of people out there that can't afford stuff. You can't afford to give your kid everything. So you got to do what you can, and you're raising good kids. So to say that all kids are entitled is a little, I don't know that that's totally fair. But okay. So summer's kind of wrapping up. Everybody's back into business, right? The kids are in school. It's usually when everybody heads back from vacation, life gets back to normalcy. Summer's done. Let's take a little bit. Now, I've been on a couple real 5 days or more. last year I went to Hawaii for the first time. That was the first time I ever went to Hawaii. I was there, checked into the hotel or whatever I rented, and it was a tsunami warning. So I got evacuated, had to go sit in a Walmart parking lot for how many hours. I didn't even get back to the hotel that night. Luckily, a friend of mine who I went there for his birthday party, his son lives there, who had another friend who actually owned a hunting cabin that I got to stay in that night, so I didn't have to sleep in my car in the Walmart parking lot. But hell of a way to start off a vacation. Obviously, nothing happened. Everything got back on track the next morning. But you ever go on a vacation? It was good or bad? I've only been on, I bet in my life, I've only been on 2 or 3 real vacations. What happened? 842-547-7.
Best vacation I had, Romeo, a couple years ago, we went down to Rosarito.
For how
rented
long?
a little.
Wait, was it a real, hold on, Rainer Dave. Was it a real vacation or was it just going to Mexico for a few days?
No, it was a real vacation.
Oh, okay.
We rented a house out there, about 4 families, and we stood out there for a little over a week.
Okay.
It was nice. It was like paradise, waking up right there on the beach. The only scary part about it was getting drunk, driving around Mexico at like 2 a.m.
Well, why were you drinking and driving in Mexico?
I wasn't driving. I was a passenger, and it was the designated driver, but we were driving late night from, I guess, it might have been Papa's and Beer, and we were coming through the back roads, and we run across a toll. I don't know if you've ever been down to Mexico. They have these tolls where it's a car, an armored Humvee, is parked right there. And they put the light on us, and I'm scared. I'm like, what do we do? And my cousin's like, oh, they just want a little tip. You got to tip them, and they'll let you go through.
Yeah,
like, I said, this guy has a 50 cal rifle, and you want me to tip him?
Yeah.
He can have it all. He can take it all. And I gave him $20, and they nodded their head and let us pass by, and that was the scariest, it sobered me up faster than anything in my life.
That's hilarious. No, last time I spent a week in Cancun, and I don't think I ever drove anywhere, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't drive again, but my son is right now down in Cancun. He's on a boat cruise, so he's having fun right now, living his best life as well. So yeah.
Was it Cancun or It was Cancun. Yeah. He's on a cruise. Oh yeah, no. I stayed. I flew into Cancun and stayed for a week at all inclusive.
And I told him have a good time for Dad because I got to work.
All right, Dave. Later. I mean, let's be honest. Some of you have enough money to go on vacation every single year, okay? And you guys plan for it and you work hard for it. I am not one of those people. I have never been a. You grow up. That's just the way of life. Going on vacation. I didn't grow up like that. Man, we went on a couple of. I went to. I think my mom took me to Vancouver once for the World's Fair. That was a vacation. Nice. Actually, it was awesome. Other than that, though, I went to Hawaii last year. Went to Cancun ago, but I've never really gone on I've only gone on a couple vacations in my lifetime, and. Yeah, sometimes they're great. Sometimes they have problems, Like, I've heard stories from friends of mine that would talk about how they go on vacation or they went on vacation and got in an argument that just ruined the whole vacation. Or I wonder if I could tell you this story. I wonder if my buddy would get mad. Gosh, I don't know if he'd get mad at you. I don't know if I could tell this story. I guess if I'm vague about it. Well, let me ask him if I could tell the story. Then I'll tell you what happened. RD4254-7-7. It wasn't my vacation. It wasn't even. It was him on vacation with friends, but he didn't do anything.
What's up, Ron?
Hey, Ruben, what up, man?
Hey, that's crazy how you say a real vacation because vacation for me back in the days was, used to be for me was. Leave Friday, come home Sunday or Monday from the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
basically what a lot of people do in Bakersfield because we can't afford it.
But then my daughter, she wanted to roll out to Lake Tahoe. And Ron, we were gone for like 5-6 days. And you know what? That's a big difference, brother. You know what I mean? That's a real vacation. You know what I mean? Like, It's just you're not driving half the time. You know what I mean? You're there. We're there. You get to relax, get to settle in, get to go see the town, get to go do stuff, snowboard. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But a weekend thing, they're right. I told my girls, you're right. We leave Friday. You know, you pack up on Sunday, so you're only really there for like a day and a half. You know what I mean? When you do that weekend thing, so that ain't no vacation. You're right. I ain't got nothing bad to say. All I can say is we had a blast in Lake Tahoe.
All right, man.
Later.
I mean, that's why I say it's we are very fortunate where we live in Bakersfield. I mean, we're very fortunate because we're 4 hours away from Vegas. You want to go to Vegas for the weekend. You want to go to the mountains. We're only a couple hours away from the mountains. If you guys want to go camping, and then we're only a couple of hours away from the beach. So, or if you want to go to LA for whatever reason. Or San Diego. I mean, we're not far. We're kind of located where we can get weekend getaways. So when you talk about going on a real vacation, it's it's different. It's different. I've only been on maybe 3 real vacations, and I would say a real vacation is probably anything over 4 nights, right? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Rome, my parents took us to Lake Tahoe every year. We'd get up at like 3 in the morning, drive up there, stay for a week. Now that I have kids, I want to do stuff like that for them. These were good memories. Yeah, Lake Tahoe is a great place to spend a week. It really is. We're talking about vacations. You ever gone on a good vacation, a bad vacation? I mean, a lot of us, I could never afford vacation. When I was recently, the last few years, I could actually afford to go on a real vacation. They're just too expensive, right? So a lot of us have to save up to go somewhere when there are people out there that do it every year. They plan to go on vacation every single year for whatever, 6-7 days. Not all of us can do that. But you ever been on one? How'd it work out for you? Was it good? Was it bad? I mean, I just looked at, and speaking of, I just looked at just a weekend getaway to go to Pebble Beach yesterday. $5,000 for 2. 2 nights, 3 days, 2 rounds of golf, $5,000. Yeah. You wonder why we can't afford to go on vacation? All right, 842-547-7. We're talking about going on vacation, right? Some of you guys go every year because you got a lot of money. Some of us can only go every couple of years if we save up enough to go on like a real vacation, 5, 6, 7 days, right? So how you good or bad? Good vacation. What's the best vacation you've been on? The worst vacation you've been on? All right, 842-547-7. Yo, Rome. My parents were the best. My mom and dad had 4 kids, so there was 6 of us. And my mom wanted to take us somewhere every week when we got out of school. For a week when we got out of school every year. So we would go on the cheapest vacations, Rome. My dad would pack an ice chest full of food, and then we'd go somewhere. One time we went to Disneyland. We stayed at the cheapest, 6 of us in a hotel room for 4 days to go to Disneyland and to hang out with food in my dad's ice chest. We went to Arizona one time. They'd take us to Texas, but my mom always wanted to go away for a week. But we would stay in the cheapest hotels, and my dad would pack food. Best times ever, Rome. I wouldn't never say anything bad about it. They were so much fun. Okay. Like I said, vacations, man. It's funny that whoever just texted me about packing their food when they went on vacation, I got to tell you a funny story about that. What'd you say here? Hey, Rome, I bought my son a car 3 years ago. He'd been on my insurance. The car was in my name. He'd been living with me for 5 years since he was a freshman. He's 19 now. Since he was 16, taught him how to drive, paid for his driver's ed lessons. Because of 16, he had to have driver's ed. This year, been helping his mom out since been helping his mom out since his mom didn't have a car. She'd been using the car I bought my son, so I put the car in my son's name. I just got a 2025 car, so I had to start a new insurance policy for a new car. I had to take pictures of the car on all four sides so I can have insurance on it before I took it from the dealership because my son was on my policy. I needed pictures of the car too, but his mom had the car and she drove it to Vegas and started working in Vegas, so I couldn't get the pictures of the car for the new policy. And I need it that day, so they terminated the policy because it was not able to send pictures of the car. Now my son moved down to Vegas with his mom to help her out. Now his mom is mad because my son no longer is covered under my insurance. I told her she can put some insurance on it since she's driving the car. I didn't want to be responsible for the car since my son was not driving it, because if she got into an accident in his car, it's all fall back on me, and I don't want that. They say I'm wrong because his car is not covered anymore. Sorry for the long message. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, man. I don't think you're wrong. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Hi, Rome.
Hey, what's
I was
up?
calling to tell you, okay, so when I was younger, about like a vacation I went on.
Sure.
When I was younger, my grandparents, I guess, they got in a fight before I was ever born, and they broke up, got a divorce.
Okay.
Well, they ended up getting back together, so they've been together. By the time they took us to Vegas, it's been like 27 years, so they could go get remarried.
Okay.
We go to Vegas. My grandma doesn't take her ID. My grandpa takes us to this like worst hotel in Vegas. Like now, I was scared. Like it was crazy. I think there might have been roaches in the room. I don't remember. But so we're trying to get in there, and they wouldn't let back in the 70s where they wear like the bright blue eyeshadow and, kind of like look like hookers. Well, My grandma still wears makeup like that. And so we go in the hotel, and she doesn't take her ID. So they kick her out the hotel because they thought my grandpa hired a hooker. So we had to sneak her in. Somehow my grandpa gets her in. But then we're there. We're scared. They just leave us at the hotel. We're probably like 11 and 12, me and my sister. They just leave us. They take off gambling, everything. So they go and try to get married. Turns out they were married the whole 7 years. Never even got a divorce.
That's awesome.
They're little disappointed because they thought they had divorced each other and we're going to get remarried.
Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome.
Turns out, they were just married. And
all right, cool. Well, thanks
we just
for
went
calling.
back. It was kind of crazy. We even had to stop because, they had caught my grandma in the hotel, so we got kicked out. We had to stay at a rest stop because my grandpa was a cheapskate. We had to stay at a rest stop, shower at the rest stop and stuff. It was so crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
That's great. Already 425-477. One of these days, we're going to have to talk about casino stories. We are going to have to talk about casino stories because I got some great stories. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I got some great stories about being in casinos. And I'm sure you do too. Maybe we'll get into it tomorrow. I do want to talk about taking your own food, though. When I was in college, I didn't have very much money. I mean, I still don't have very much money. But I used to take my own food everywhere. I go to a concert. I'd go out somewhere. And I would take it out of just pure poorness. So I would go buy bread. I'd buy meat. And I'd, lunch meat. So I had something to eat. And there's nothing worse than everybody making fun of you for taking your own food and then them all wanting some. That's what I was going to tell you guys.
Man, why are you telling tall tales? I remember the last time we were on the cruise, you opened up your wallet. You needed 2 crew members to help you close it. It had so much money closing out. now you're acting like you're collecting cash.
No, you lying.
Hey, check this out. So I know you're going to talk about it tomorrow, but we were at Eagle Mountain, and a dude was yelling. He won $11,000. his wife said, "Oh my God!" She told the guy, "We just won 11,000." He said, "We." He said, "I won 11,000." He goes, "Don't worry, I'm going to give you some money on this, but I'm going to go home." She goes, "What are you going to do?" "Drink beers and watch Bonanza."
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.